Hi guys, Ryan with Modern Detailer. So I totally messed up on a paint chip repair job on my BMW X3. I was trying to prepare the paint for some polishing and a paint coating before winter, and as I was doing the touch-ups, I ended up burning through the clear coat and base coat on my hood, exposing the primer in a spot. So I don't want any of you to have to repeat the mistake that I made. So let's jump back a few days ago, and I'm going to walk you through the process that led me to my unintended results. So I'm going to zoom in here and show you what I ended up doing. I'm just going to take the camera off and try to get in here for you. Yeah. So this is what we have right now. The small little part here, that was the initial rock chip. And what I did is I sanded around the edges a little bit, filled it with some paint, and then went through a process of kind of leveling it off, sanding it down a little bit. And I thought everything was going well until I took my 3-inch Flex Rotary polisher and made a couple passes, realized right away it was getting pretty hot, and then next thing I know, it looks like it kind of burnt through the clear coat. This hood will go in to get painted in about a week to have this fixed. So before it goes in, I wanted to kind of explore what went wrong and see if I can give you any tips on how not to do what I did. So I'm going to take 3-inch Rotary again, and this is the Flex Compact 3. I'm using the Griot Garage correcting pad. So I'll drop that on. Cut Max from Sonex pad conditioner. I'm going to spray the pad a little bit with that. And I'm going to dab on some compound. So I'm initially going to just spread this out. Okay, and then I'm going to crank this up to, I think it was at like a 3 when I was doing this. So I'm going to come through in this area here and see what happens if we cut into that a little bit more. And I can smell it, it gets hot. If you look at where this happened, kind of right on this line where the hood kind of starts to dip down more, I have a feeling that the paint may actually have been a little bit thinner here. And I'll bring you in closer. So it does look like it's getting a little bit darker, like we've gone into the, through the clear coat, through the base coat, and then into the primer, which is that darker area we see. So I'm going to come at it again and see if this starts to creep out more as I polish it. and I will get us in closer. I'm gonna go back with the 3-inch rotary. Just dabbing a little more on the okay, just spreading it out. Going back to 3. So you can see it's creeping out a little bit. So it doesn't take a whole lot to burn through both that clear coat and the base coat on one of these areas where we don't have a lot of paint cover. The clear coat, we're only looking at something between 35 and 50 microns to begin with. So you can go through that pretty quick when you're doing color sanding and compounding. And then we've got maybe another 50 to 100 microns with that base coat and then the primer. So I'm going to go in one more time. Oh yeah, that gets pretty hot. Yeah, so we're definitely just coming up right on the primer through the base coat. So I'm thinking, as I was trying to sand down my repair, and you can see the repair is actually stayed filled in, but I was using the sandpaper on the end of the eraser. Let me see if I have that here. Here's a pencil. Yeah, so basically taking a hole punch, cutting out a little piece of sandpaper. I think this was maybe, this was either 1500 or 1000 grit. So what I was doing, so I was trying to level out the touch-up, and I think I started to dig in to the area right underneath it as I was trying to level it out. And it looked fine until I took the rotary to it, which, like I said, I let it get hot. I was applying a little too much pressure. We had a heavy cutting compound, and it was just enough to just slice right through the clear coat and the base coat. See this? These are some of the other chips that I touched up. I actually did a really good job on those because you can't see them. This one, however, totally messed up. I've been experimenting with different techniques for repairing rock chips, And the next time I do this, first of all, I'm going to practice my techniques on one of my practice hoods down in the basement, and be especially careful when I've got sort of like an edge here. It's not, it's not a true edge, but it's just enough where I can see that the paint could possibly be a little thinner. So I'm going to finish, now that we've kind of hacked into this with some compound, I'm going to grab a new pad and apply some polish onto it. The EX406. And cranking that up to 3. Don't use a direct drive rotary like this on your own car, on a customer's car, or really anywhere until you really know how to handle it. I also have the 3-inch DA from Griot's Garage, and while this doesn't have the power that the Flex has, it's also going to leave less chance for damage on your paint. So when this is going against the paint, at some point it's just going to stop applying pressure. It's going to kind of have this free spinning dual action orbit, and it's a lot less likely that you're going to put in any holograms or really heat up the paint. However, with the Flex, this is a rotary, so we're just moving around in a circle. We're not doing a pattern like we have with the DA. And it's also direct drive, so I can really push down on this, and it's just going to keep pushing that power into the paint, and it's going to continue to heat up. So that's something to watch out for, as you're learning or when you're getting into these rotary tools. You can do jobs a lot faster with them, but you really need to know how to handle them. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to shoot for this video. I just wanted to hopefully put this out there so you could learn from some of my mistakes. I'll update you once this gets repainted to show you how the results turned out. I'm Ryan with Modern Detailer, and we'll see you next video.